Welcome back. In today's video, we have a toroidal fan launcher. It's a multi-stage planetary gearbox with a weird twisty top that shoots these fans, spins them really fast, and sends them flying through the air. We'll go through design and then print bed setup and assembly at the end and show off some fans flying around. Let's take a look at how this works. We've got this crank that we can turn, and it's held on by this. There's a D-shaped hole in the bottom of the crank, and there's a flat on this threaded piece. So that locks them together. This is how we transmit our torque through the bottom of this housing. If we look in the middle, we can see the gears inside. They're cut in half, so they look a little strange. But there's a big ring gear on the outside. The inside of the housing is a ring gear. We've got these planet carriers. They have 3 shafts on them, and 3 gears rotate on them, and they mesh with the ring gear. They also mesh with this sun gear in the middle. So as you turn the crank, these guys rotate around the outside, the yellow gears, and they turn the sun gear. The sun gear turns the next planet carrier, and these planet gears go around the ring and turn the sun gear, and on, and that's how we get a huge gear ratio so that when we turn the crank, this fan launcher part is spinning really fast. So that's how we get all of the speed, and then the fan starts pushing air down and giving itself lift, and when we stop at the end, it spins itself right off and goes flying. So we'll take a look. The last piece is the propeller, and this guy has an angle that faces this way. So from left to right, it goes down. And this face, same thing. Left to right, it goes down. So if we were to cut away the middle, these would both be fan blades facing the same way. And then to connect them, we've got to make it twist through here and then return and come back to the middle. And this doesn't do much for lift, but I think getting the mass to the outside helps it continue to spin and fly through the air. So we played with many angles of this fan blade. I think we'll probably have a short video about it later, but we picked the one that works the best, and we've got them flying all the way across the room. This thing does pretty well now. Here's the print bed setup. We'll start with the big piece, the ring gear. You want to face all the teeth up and the whole side down. We're going to stand the post up on its end because it's the biggest surface to stick to the bed. This really could print on either end. I think this will be a little bit more stable. The fan, either side is fine. The gears, we just want to put a flat side down. They're reversible. This guy, we actually want the other way. There's a ring on it, and we want that to face up. It'll print the threads, but we don't want this down, or we're going to get support in here. This guy, we want to face the gear up, and on the opposite side, let me flip it over. We've got overhangs in here that we can print. So we can print this whole face down because we really couldn't have printed on the other side. So we just drafted the end, and that's printable like this. These guys have similar features, so we want to put them just like this with the gear facing up. If we look in here, we've got these interference features around the perimeter of it. That's what's going to hold your posts in for the carrier. And then all of this is printed as an overhang so that we can put this side down. And we want the gear to face up in the air like this, partly because we can't print on that tiny little face, and partly because we don't want these touching the build plate. This guy, same thing. It has the same features in it as that. There's the interference ribs and the overhang at the end. And these threads will print face up, and that hole in the end is blind. So you kind of have to print that one this way. The cover, we're going to put face down, and that one will be just fine. So set your build plate up like this, whatever colors you want, and we'll do assembly next. Here are all the parts off the print bed. We're going to start with this guy, the screw thread, and one of these planet carriers, and 3 planet gears. So drop these on, then we're going to line up these holes with these pins. And they should stick together so that we've got a little sub-assembly. Then we're going to take the ring gear, and this goes in screw thread down. Make sure your gears mesh nicely and spin. And then we're going to drop this down into the bottom and hold it down there. This guy goes on. We've got the D shape. There's a flat here, a D-shaped hole here. We're going to line up the flats, feed that through. And then this nut on one side has a raised circle. We want that side down. So thread this onto the screw and tighten it down. If you hold on to the yellow crank part, you could spin against the flat and get it nice and tight. So now if we look down, when we turn this, we can see the gears move. Next, another planet carrier, 3 more planet gears, and now we're going to put a sun gear on. So we're going to line up the holes and press this together, just like we did on the last one. And same thing, should stick together, and the gear should turn. Now we're going to put the sun gear side down. It's going to mesh with all 3 planet gears in the first subassembly. And then these guys are going to mesh with the ring gear again. So as we drop it in, we just make sure that it spins nicely. Should drop to the bottom. And now we're getting a huge speed increase here. And we're starting to take advantage of the gear ratios to make this thing go fast. We're going to build 1 more of these, just like we did last time. 3 planets, drop a sun gear on, snap them together. Should move nice and freely. And then we're going to drop it in, sun gear down again. Now it's going to mesh with this set of planets. Make sure your planets mesh with the ring again. So now when we turn this guy on the bottom, we can see a huge speed increase up to this one. This is the last piece. So we drop this guy into here. And now he spins too. And then we're going to thread the top on and twist it down tight. This is the last piece, and we drop it in here and press it. So now when we spin this is the spindle that'll launch the fans, and it's spinning pretty quick. So we'll take it for a test drive.